Khan. Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom to the lost tribes that are scattered abroad, man. It's your brother Yadon coming in at you on this beautiful Monday we got. Shalom, shalom. So we're going to go ahead for this lesson today. We're going to go ahead and do a part two to the lesson we did a couple weeks ago where I went to the African American Museum. And basically, while I was at that museum, I was on a mission to get as much information about the scattered tribes of Israel that I possibly could. So I got some leftover pictures and I got a bunch of documents and some history to actually go into to talk about the Northern Kingdom this time, man. Last lesson was mostly about the Southern Kingdom, the tribe of Judah. Um, And this time we're gonna talk about the Northern Kingdom, man, because a lot of brothers and sisters aren't really talking about the Northern Kingdom lately, and they are our brothers too, man. They are our brothers and sisters too, right? The so-called Mexicans, the so-called Native American Indians, right? Cubans, Puerto Ricans. We're gonna get into all that history today for this lesson, man. So, Shalom, brother Frank, Shalom, right? We gonna get into this thing real quick. First, I'm gonna go ahead. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show the last images I got from the museum. Now, I couldn't show all of them. I had some videos that I wanted to show, but for some reason it didn't work with the presentation. So I'm gonna show a couple pictures, some that I could get, and then we're gonna go into the history of Northern Kingdom, right? So let's go ahead and jump on into this thing, man. So let's go to the presentation. We're going to go to the presentation first. Let me know if y'all can see everything, Israel. Right? Khan, shalom, sis. Shalom. Right? Let's go into this thing, man. So this is the first slide we got here. It says Captivity of the Natives, right? Review and breakdown by Ministers of Flame, man. And behind me in this picture right here is going into the captivity, man. This is going to be talking about our so-called Mexicans and our so-called Native American Indians, right? So let's jump into the first slide, right? So this is the first slide. Maybe a little hard to read, so I'm gonna read most of it. But this was a picture that I got while I was there, and it's basically talking about the Spaniards, right? Now, in case brothers and sisters didn't know, there is a difference between the so-called Mexican and the Spaniards, right? The Spaniards are your European nations. Mexicans are our brothers, man. Spaniards are the ones that actually put them in slavery, man. Right? And they got some information on these guys, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and read this really quick. Slocky, if you can't see it, I'm gonna just go ahead and read it for you in case y'all can't see it. So this is talking about Spain. It says the marriage of Queen Isabella I and King Ferdinand II created the Spanish kingdom, considered religious zealots. They cemented their control through the church, driving out non-Catholics. In 1492, their army conquered the Muslim inhabitants of Spain, known as Moors, right? Now, a lot of brothers and sisters don't know about the Moorish history as well, right? Those were our brothers that actually was conquering in Britain, right? Let me continue on this. It says, and banished them from their kingdom. Jews and Muslims who refused to convert to Christianity were violently expelled or executed. Now, what does that sound like, man? Right? That sounds like in the story of Maccabees, man. We had the sons that they just refused. They were not gonna serve any other gods. They weren't gonna break their laws, man. They got their tongues cut out. They got boiled. This thing was happening even in these times, man. This is what 1492. It says Jews and Muslims. We refuse to be a part of the so-called Christianity, man. You know why? Because we have our God, man. And it ain't Christianity, right? Christianity, they're telling you it's a religion. It's nowhere in the Bible, man. We already had our God and we already followed him by the scriptures, man. Right? So let's continue on this. It says that the Christians were violently expelled or executed in their kingdom. National identity was defined by impesa de sangre, or pure blood. Right? And I'm gonna read this real quick about Portugal. Right? Because these are all the same people, man. All these are devils, man. Portugal, Spain, right? These are the same dogs that's trying to persecute us now, man. Right? This says the Portuguese were in the forefront of European trade in Western Africa. Prince Henry the Navigator, a nobleman, helped Portugal achieve this status by organizing voyages to trade, convert non Christians, and find a maritime route to Asia in 1441. Henry was presented with Africans kidnapped to provide evidence of what the region held. In 1455, the Pope granted exclusive rights to the sub-Saharan trade to the Portuguese crown, including the trade in slaves, man. So these are all the same dogs, man. The Portuguese, the Spaniards, these are the same dogs that put us in slavery, man. The same ones that shipped us off, man, to the four corners of the earth. Right? Let me get this next slide, man, because this is very important. Check this out, Israel. What does this look like right here? This section in the museum was talking about the so-called Mexicans and their history. And those were the videos that I wanted to put up, but I couldn't. But basically, to summarize, those videos were talking about the Mexican War, man. And I got some slides on that. I'm going to show y'all in a minute. But this right here is a shofar, man. Even our Northern Kingdom brothers had their shofars, man, ready to go in battle. Had their weapons right here, right? And these were some shackles that some of our Northern Kingdom brothers were in, man. This didn't just happen to the so-called black man. And I know a lot of our brothers, our Northern Kingdom brothers, think that they're not a part of the family, but they are. They went through the same curses that we went through, man. Right? And I'm going to go ahead and pull up something about that. About the Spaniards and how they basically dominated the Northern Kingdom. Right? Let me know if y'all can see all these things, Israel. Kind of got a question. It says, was it their own people? Now, I think what she's asking is, did our own people sell us into slavery? Now, if we're regarding with the so-called African and the African American, we know those are two different people. Let me get a quick precept on that. Right? Let's get that really quick. That's a good question. This is the book of Exodus 11. We're going to get verse 7, right? This says, but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel, right? So what this verse is talking about is how there's a difference between the so-called black man and the African. And I'm sure brothers and sisters can know it's very noticeable, right? They have the loops in their ears, they eat blood, they're playing with tigers and all these things, whereas the so-called black man is completely different. Now, if you're referring to that, yes, the Africans did sell us into slavery, and they are not Israel, right? They have their own tribes or whatever it is. Now, in this section right here, the Mexicans and Spaniards are completely different, right? The Spaniards did sell the Mexicans in slavery, but they are not the same. So no, Mexicans didn't sell Mexicans. I know some people might believe that for some reason. So-called black man didn't sell the black man into slavery. There's a difference. A lot of people think that the Spaniards and Mexicans are the same because they both can speak Spanish, but that don't mean anything. All right, I can speak African, and that doesn't mean all of a sudden we're the same people, right? So I hope I answered that well. Just let me know if I need to touch up on that a little more. But yeah, like I was saying, this is a shofar that the Mexicans, or so-called Mexicans, used in battle as well, man. And yeah, let me get that slide really quick. Let me show this. So this is talking about the Spaniards and how they committed several atrocities against the so-called Mexicans, right? It says the Spaniards committed severe atrocities in Santo Domingo, including forced labor under the encomienda system, persecution of indigenous people, and the introduction of deadly epidemics. Right, and this was in 1503. Right, the Spaniards put the so-called Mexicans in slavery, man, forced labor. Right, and we're gonna get into that soon because some of our brothers and sisters actually fought back, man. Right, because we know, according to the Bible, Ephraim is a mighty tribe, man. They're a warrior tribe. They know how to fight. They know how to fight back, man. And that's what our brothers and sisters were doing. I'm gonna get a quick precept on that. Right? Let's see. Let me get this one first. Let's go to First Chronicles. I'm gonna get 12 and 32. Right? This is First Chronicles 12 and 32. It says, "In the of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at the command." Right? So Issachar already knew what to do, man. Oh, shalom. Shalom. Mighty brothers in the chat, man. Right? But Issachar knew what to do, man. They knew how to fight back. That's why they had these things, man. That's why they had this shofar. Right? They had their weapons. And some of the weapons, unfortunately, I couldn't get. I don't know why. Brothers and sisters, I want y'all to go to these museums and get as many pictures as you can, because when I was there was a lot of stuff they just weren't allowing. And this floor, they literally had a security guard, man. He was following me everywhere I went. Right? Some sections you just can't take pictures of, man. So all praise to the Most High that I was able to get these. But yeah, man, there was a lot of they had our Mexican brothers guns in there. You know, their attire that they wore whenever they would fight back against these European nations, man. Right? And we're going to get into that really quickly. So let's go ahead and show next slide. Check this out, man. Right? What does this look like, Israel? This is historical evidence right here, man. Historical things, man. This isn't just a fairy tale, right? Nobody just painted this and it was just their imagination, man. These things actually happen, man. Not only to the so-called Mexicans, but to our native brothers as well. And we're gonna get into that, man. Right? This is a real thing that happened. And before I get into the native side, I want to touch on a couple things with our Mexican brothers. Oh, nice, Khan. Mighty precept right there. It says Ecclesiastes 3 and 15, "That which had been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past." Mighty precept right there, man. Basically saying this stuff y'all ain't gonna get away with it, man. The Most High requires this to happen onto the other nations, man. Right? He ain't gonna forget about this. A lot of our brothers think that. Well, that was back then. We ain't gotta worry about that now. We're all one under God. Hey, man, that's nowhere in the Bible, man. The Lord said you touched the apple of his eye, man. This is his people, his beloved, his firstborn, man. If somebody come and persecute your firstborn, you're just gonna go and say, well, it's all right, I can make another child. No, man, we're not doing that. Somebody gotta pay for this. And they will, man. Right? Now, real quick, I'm gonna show y'all something, because I don't even me personally, I don't even call our brothers Mexican, but I'm only saying that in case people don't know what I mean by Issachar, right? Or Ephraim, or all these words. Now, I'm gonna show y'all something about Hispanic. After this, I don't want anybody that's watching this calling your brother Hispanic no more, man, because that is a byword. And we're going to prove that with the Bible. Let me get that first precept. Let me get Deuteronomy 28. I believe that's 37. Let me get that. Because the Lord said this will happen to his people, man. We got to look at these curses. These curses are to identify who the children of Israel are, man. We know slavery didn't just happen to the so-called black man. It happened to the natives. It happened to the the so-called Hispanic brothers, right? Look at this. This is a curse. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. So everywhere we go, we are going to have some sort of byword, some sort of thing that the other nations are going to call us that is a slur, that puts us down. With the so-called black man, it's niggas. With the so-called Native American, right? They call us savages. Even though the Bible actually called Ishmael a savage, they switched it on us, man. How did that happen? With the so-called Hispanic and Mexican, they call them beaners and all these things, man. Who's giving us these names, man? The other nations, right? Mighty Brother Frank said, my Northern Kingdom brothers, we address each other as brothers and sisters, man. That's what we need to do. You're not Hispanic no more, man. We're not calling you that. And let me show you that real quick. Look at this, Israel. And y'all should definitely look up this website. This is called Etymon right? It shows you the root word and etymology of all these words, right? This is the etymology of Hispanic. It says pertaining to Spain. Basically, whenever you call your brother Hispanic, ask my Hispanic brother, you're calling him a property of another nation, man. And that's wicked. Yeah, we're not property of Spaniards, man. Right? We're not niggas. We're not savages. Right? We're Jews. We're Israelites. Right? So, brothers and sisters, we can't call our brothers this anymore, man. We can't call our sisters this no more, man. When you go to that job application, you can't put Hispanic no more, man. You better put an Israelite. You better put Issachar, Ephraim, right? Okay, we get a mighty precept right here. Jeremiah 44 and 12. Let me get that real quick. Right? Kind. Keep throwing mighty precepts in here, Israel, right? Questions, whatever it is, throw it in here. Let's see, 44:12. Let's see. Let me get that real quick, man.
44:12. Yeah.
Jeremiah 44 and 12. It says, and I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine, and they shall be an exertion and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach, man. Mighty precept right there, man. That didn't just happen to the so-called black man, right? That happened to all of us. We all died by the sword, man. We all got killed by the so-called white man, the so-called Arabs, the Chinese, the Japanese, right? And we gotta bring these things out, man. Right? So I'm gonna go into this. I'm gonna pull up a couple more things about the mighty tribe of Issachar, and I'm gonna go into the mighty tribe of Gad, man, because we gotta know about them too, right? This is something I don't know if brothers and sisters knew this. But I'm gonna bring this up in case y'all didn't. This is the Wan Crow. Now, a lot of brothers and sisters probably learned in your schools about Jim Crow laws, but you probably didn't know this existed, right? This says Wan Crow laws are state and local policies in the U.S. designed to control, marginalize, and restrict the rights of Latino immigrants. Now, hold on, man. Why are they making this for them as well? I thought the Jim Crow laws was only for the so-called blacks, man. You mean to tell me they did this to them as well? Look at this 547 documented lynchings. This don't happen to the so-called black man and him only. We got to start recognizing these are our brothers too. These are our brothers and sisters too. They've been through the same thing that we had, man. And they're feeling left out. I'm like, man, why are they not talking about us, man? Right? We got to bring these things out, man. I'm going to bring something else out really quick. Bring this out. Check this out, Israel. Now, I'm going to try my best to say some of these names. Obviously, I'm not that well in the so-called Mexican language, but I'm going to try my best. All right. So this guy's name, I'm assuming, is Vicente Ramon. It says he was a Mexican independence leader, a general, and liberal politician. Now, if you're wondering why I have this guy up, man, in fact, we'll just read it. It says, who served briefly as the nation's second president in 1829, a key commander under Jose Morales. He later allied with Augustine to secure independence via the Plan of Igula. As president, he abolished slavery and promoted equality for all citizens, but was overthrown by vice president and executed in 1831. So this was a mighty Northern Kingdom brother that said, you know what? We're going through slavery too, so I'm going to try to abolish this, man. I'm going to try to end this. And they killed this brother right after he did that, man. And look, he was president in 1829. They killed him 2 years later, man. They said, to hell with that, man. We're not letting you guys free. Right? And Northern Kingdom actually helped us as well in slavery. A lot of people don't know that. Right? Some of our people that were trying to escape the so-called white man, we came to them and they actually helped us. And they fought against the white man too. Because they know that they're family. Right? I'm gonna get a quick precept, man. I'm gonna get Psalms 94 and 14. Right? Let's get this real quick. Quick precept. Psalms 94 and 14. It says, the Lord will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. Right? A lot of people like to run to Isaiah and Jeremiah and say, well, the Lord cast the people off. He gave them the bill of divorcement, even though he didn't. Right? They love to run to that, man, because they want to open the door up for Christ to say now he's going to save everybody in the world, man. And that just, it's not, the scripture's not supporting this, man. But I can show you what the scripture is supporting, right? Because the Gentiles that Christ is talking about, that he wants to bring back together, is your Northern Kingdom, man. Right? And in 1 Corinthians, I'm going to get that too real quick. Because a lot of people love to run to Paul. They love to say, well, he saved the Gentiles. He's trying to bring the Gentiles back together. We're all one under Christ. Let's see what the scriptures say, man. This is 1 Corinthians 12 and verse 2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles. Now, how can you be a word Gentile? Who is Paul talking about right here, man? Let's get that. Look at Hosea 4 and verse 6, right? It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. Who is this talking about, man? Northern Kingdom. We know in the book of 1 Kings, I'm going to get that real quick, the kingdom split up. The southern and northern kingdom split up. And what did the northern kingdom do? Let's find out, man. 1 Kings 12, verse 28. Let's get this real quick, man. Check this out. 1 Kings 12 and 28. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. They did the same thing that our forefathers did, man. When they went into the wilderness, they made the golden calf. They started worshiping that. That's exactly what happened, man. Again. And the northern kingdom actually worshiped these gods, man. And they became Gentiles. We're going to get that too in the New Testament. But yeah, man, those Gentiles that Christ is actually talking about, that's the northern kingdom. That's what he was prophesied to do. Bring back Israel and Judah, make them the 12 tribes again, and save them. And that's exactly what he did, man. He saved Israel, man. The 12 tribes. He didn't approach any Edomites and say, hey, man, I'm coming for you, right? I'm coming from Moab, coming for... He didn't do that, man. So where are we getting this from? Now let's get Matthew 4 and 15. We're going to go to Christ, right? We're going to prove that with the scriptures. Before I go into... we're going to go into the tribe of Gad after this. But I have to get this, right? It says the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. These are Israelite nations, though. Why is it saying Gentiles? Because they became like Gentiles, man. This is out of Christ's own words. This is out of his mouth. Right? Let me see. Let me get Hosea 7 and 8. Let me get that really quick, and then we're gonna go into tribe of Gad. I gotta prove this real quick with the scriptures, man. Real quick. Because Northern Kingdom, even to this day, are mixing. They're mixing among the nations, right? Scriptures tell us that they're a cake not turned. Right? Let me show that too. You know, a cake not turned is pretty light, man. What do you think that's symbolizing? Right? They're amongst these other nations, man. That's why some of our people are getting them confused. Are they Spaniards or are they this? Because they're mixing among them. We'll get that real quick. Check this out. Hosea 7 and verse 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Right? Let me read this one too. Strangers have devoured his strength, and he know it not. Yea, gray hairs are here, and they're upon him, yet he know it not. Right? Ephraim is being conquered to this day, man, because they're mixing with these nations. And we're trying to pull you out. Right? A lot of our Northern Kingdom brothers think they can go to the white man now. Think, well, these guys are going to help us. They're not, man. Yeah, they can put you in damn cages, man. Oh, mighty precept right here. Ephesians 2 and 11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, right? This isn't talking about everybody, right? This is talking about our Northern Kingdom, right? Brother Frank got a precept on here. Let's read this real quick, man. Isaiah 5 and 13. It says, therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Hey, a mighty precept right there. That's exactly what's going on. Right? Northern Kingdom, they don't have this knowledge, man. I talked to some Northern Kingdoms, they didn't even know the Warren Crow thing happened. They didn't even know that existed. They said, well, I thought it was just Jim Crow. This is sad, man, because sooner or later, these things are going to be taken away. They're going to be taken off the internet, right? Right? Right. These things are going to be gone, man. So we got to bring these things out and hopefully try to bring our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters back to us, man. We got to unite, especially in these last days, right? We're going to be having a U.S. draft going on December 25th, right? Trump already announced it. We already know the prophecy in Isaiah that says that your men are going to be drafted into wars. This is going to happen to us sooner or later, man. We got to round up and get the hell out of here, man. We got to come back to our God, right? Now let me go and we're going to get some information on Gad. So let's go back to this slides. Let's get some information on the tribe of Gad. Now, our mighty tribe of Gad is the so-called Native Americans, man. Right? Look at this. Look at this, Israel. Who y'all think this is, man? Coming to deceive. These are our brothers and sisters right here, man. Gad. I don't know if y'all can really see it, but they actually have the ribbon of blue right here. Right? See, Gad was keeping the laws. Just like the Northern Kingdom was, right? It wasn't all of them that just went astray, right? Gad was keeping the laws. They had fringes on, man. And this picture right here is the damn devil right here, man. Christopher Columbus. And we're going to get some information on him that you may not have known. Right? Let's get the next slide. Now, this picture was actually in the last slide, but I put it up here again because I didn't get to go into it too much. But this was in the African American Museum. I thought this was just about black people, man. What are they doing here? These are our brothers. That's why. Right? They are a part of our history. Right? Now, let's go into the next slide. Look at this, man. All out war going on. These right here are your Europeans, and these right here are your mighty tribe of Gad, man. Taking these damn devils down, man. Look, one brother, he's gone with the goods, man. Right? They got their fringes. It's a little hard to see, but they got the ribbon of blue. Right? This is your mighty tribe of Gad right here. A warrior according to the Bible, man. We'll get that real quick. Let's get that in the book. I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy 29. Right? Because we're gonna go into the history of how Gad actually got conquered. Right? Because they were in the land on their own. And Christopher Columbus came over and conquered them. Now, how did he do that? We're going to get into that really quick. But first, I want to show this precept. This is Deuteronomy 29 and verse 28. It says, "And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation and cast them into another land." Right? This happened to our brothers, man. Right? Because they disobeyed the Lord. Right? Now, real quick, let's get into this history, right? We're going to get into the history about Christopher Columbus and how did he know about the Israelites, right? Now, in case you guys don't really know about Christopher Columbus, he was a European that basically he wanted to find land or whatever, and he found the Native Americans and conquered them, put them on slave ships. Right? Now, I got a clip that I'm going to show real quick. I want you to pay very close attention, right? This right here this is from a movie, right? I don't know the title of the movie, but Christopher Columbus, in this movie, it shows you that he actually knew about the book of Ezra. He had his own Bible, right? Now, how he got that, I don't know. He probably stole it. I mean, this is a damn devil right here, man. Right? So pay close attention to what he says in this clip right here. I don't know if y'all can hear this, Israel.
Why do you wish to sail west?
To open a new route to Asia. Asia is the richest kingdom, the land of spices and gold. At the moment, there are only two ways of reaching it. By sea, sailing around the African continent. The journey takes a year. or by land, but the Turks have closed this route to all Christians. There is a third way. By sailing west across the ocean sea.
The distance is unknown. It's said to be infinite.
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands.
Can't you be so certain?
The calculations of Toscanelli, Marin de Tir, Esdras.
Esdras is a Jew.
So what's west?
Now look at that.
Too many.
He said Ezra's. His homeboy's asking, well, why do you want to go there? How do you even know that there could be people there? He said Ezra's. And this is in their movies. The so-called white man knows this, man. This is history. This isn't just something they came up with. Christopher Columbus actually read in Ezra's, man. And we're going to get exactly where he read from, so follow along, right? Let's get that. So he is referring to the book of 2nd Ezra 13, right? Let's get that. And let's follow along, man. Let's see what he read. We're going to start... Now, I didn't say the specific verse he read, but we have some sort of idea of where he read at, man. It's pretty obvious. I'm going to start at verse 39. Okay, so follow along, Israel, because this is how, hey, even the other nations are reading your Bible, man. Right? If they're reading it, you damn for sure better be reading it and figuring out your history. Because he knew this is your history. Right? So let's read this. I'm going to read all the way, probably to verse 46. So let's see. This is 2nd Ezra 13 and 39. It says, and whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land. Man. And he saw that and said, okay, that's the northern kingdom. He knew exactly how to get to him, man. Because the northern kingdom was carried away and they actually went to a whole nother land that nobody ever went to before. And it's going to say it in this, right? It says, in the time of Hosea, the king, who Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captives, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took his counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Right, so we were taken captives to be brought to this land, and our brothers actually got together and said, you know what, we ain't going for that, man. We don't want to be around the heathen. And they went to a whole new land that nobody has ever dwelt. And what was that land? America. And they're not showing you, they're not going to show you that in schools, man. I never knew about this until I actually got into the scriptures, man. Right? Let's continue. It says that they might there keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land, man. Yeah. They didn't keep them in Israel, but they kept them here in this land. And even before Christopher Columbus even got there, he's seen that, man. He's seen that these people, wow, they got their fringes on, they got the ribbon of blue, right? They're keeping the feast days. They're not eating unclean animals. Wow. Right? He saw that himself. Right? It says, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. It took them a year and a half to get here, man. In the same region is called Arsareth, right? And that later got changed to America, man. That's America's original name right there, man. Even your so-called white man knows this, right? But I wanted to show that because it's crazy how they're showing this in these movies as well. We got to start paying attention, man.
Right.
Right? The man blatantly said it. Oh yeah, Esdras. That's how I knew.
Wow.
And if you caught it, his homeboy said Esdras is a Jew. They know these things, man. They know about us. Yep. We're apparently the only ones that don't know. Right. Now we're gonna get into some quick history about the mighty tribe of Gad. Right. Let me finish my slides off. This was the last slide I had. This brother right here. Now, I know you're probably wondering, well, what in the world is this? Looks like a video game character or something. This is a real person, a Gadite, right? And we're gonna read his history, right? Here he is, man. This is one of our brothers, mighty brothers, man. It says, cutting edge, the tale of Galvarino. That was his name, man. Let's see what he did. So it says Galvarino is a native Mpuche warrior. Is known for surviving severe injuries and for leading his people in resistance against the Spanish conquistadors, another nation that basically put us in slavery, that persecuted us, the conquistadors, man. This brother put a resistance against them and started slaying them, man. And we got to be in this type of ancient mindset, right? Let's read this, man. It says the story of Galvarino takes place during the Arauco War of the 16th century, a conflict between indigenous Mapuche people and Spanish invaders. Right? So I'm going to try to get as much information as I can. It says relatively little is known about his early years before he struggled with the Spanish. Historical records are sparse on details of his upbringing, but we do know that he was a Mapuche warrior long before the Spanish had arrived in South America, man. Right? And that's the thing, man. Our people, even when they separated, they went to Arsarith or they went to all these other lands. Before some European nation came, we were keeping the laws, man. I guarantee this brother was keeping the laws, man. And look, this is a picture of him. They cut his hands off, man. This is what your European nations are doing. And the brother still got mighty fringes on right there, man. I know y'all see it. Right? Let's continue on this. As with his compatriots, he would have been educated in the ways of war from an early age. The Mapuche were a fierce and powerful people, right? Long before the Spanish conquest, they were considered among the most successful and dominant of the native tribes in the area. And our people are still that, man. They just don't know it. Gad is one of the most ruthless, the most powerful tribes, man. They used to scout people's heads off, man. Right? Gad ain't nothing to play with. And neither is Issachar, neither is Ephraim, none of the tribes, man. Let's continue on this. It says, now I think this is just going into the Mapuche, right? Kind of, yeah, this is going into the Mapuche. And look at this, man. The supreme Mapuche god. Now, unfortunately, our people did have gods, man. Other gods. We've seen it happen with Issachar and Ephraim. I'm going to get a precept on that, right? Because even in this day and age, we still have other gods, man. Unfortunately. Right? Let me get Lamentations 4 and 17. This says, and as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us. These other nations and their religion cannot save you, man. The Spanish, the Spaniards, who actually brought the whole Catholicism thing to our people, that's not going to save you. The Mapuche god, whoever that is, man, that's not going to save you, man. There's only one true living God, and that's the Most High Yahweh, man. Right? Precept right here. Genesis 49:19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at last. What do you think that's talking about, man? This happened, right? They overcame this brother, but guess what? He got the last laugh, man. He got the last laugh, and that's what's gonna happen in the last days, man. Hey, Gad gonna be on top again, just like the other tribes, as long as we stay faithful to the Most High and do His law, statutes, and commandments, and keep the faith in Him and His precious Son Yahushua, man. Right? Let me get one more precept. Deuteronomy 33:20. And of Gad he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion and teareth the arm with the crown of the head. Hey, man, we just said that, man. Scalping the heads off, man. Right? Gad does that. Right? Hey, this brother did that. Yeah, he scalped some heads off. I don't think they're going to show it, though. But, yeah. Right? Let me see if I can get a little more history on this guy. Let me see if I can read this real quick. And see, they're trying to shut this down. Israel, get as much history that you possibly can on our brothers and sisters, man. Right? Sooner or later, these websites are going to be shut down. Yeah. Let me see. Let's see if we can get like a summarization. Yeah, here we go. Check this out, Israel. Galvarino, a famous warrior who played a significant role during the war against the Spanish in the 16th century. He is known for his bravery, particularly after losing his hands in battle, which he replaced with knives, man, symbolizing his defiance against the Spanish forces. He became a Chilean folk hero, leading his people in their struggle for freedom and resistance against oppression. His legacy is celebrated as a testament to the resilience of the Mapuche people and their fight against colonialism. So that's basically a summarization of what happened to that brother, man. Those European nations that cut his hands off, he replaced them things with knives, man, and start killing people. Right? And that brother was in an ancient mindset that we need to be in now. Right? Not giving up. Continuing to fight for the Lord, man. Let me get a quick reset. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon. Let me get 5. And let me get verse 6. This says, therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We've erred from the way of truth. Northern Kingdom has erred from their heritage, man. They're calling themselves Hispanic. They're saying we're Mexicans, right? Gad is getting themselves confused in the modern times. They're saying, oh, well, we're Indians. I had a brother say, he asked me, what's the difference between Native Indians and Indians, man? Right? We're getting confused now. We're not those damn Indians over there with the red dot, right? That's a whole different people. Those are the people that sold you. Native Indians, indigenous Indians are the people that were here before all that even happened, man. That's the whole meaning of indigenous. The originals, right? America, that was ours. We built it up, right? We are the indigenous people of that land, man. So when the white man says, oh, you guys need to go back to your land, hey, man, we here, man. You need to go back to your land. You go back to Spain, man. You go back to Russia. That's where y'all from, man. Y'all not from here. Y'all came here and took it over. We had a good thing going, man. The Bible just told you they went over there and started doing their laws, man. We had a good thing going until the white man came and destroyed it. And we got to get back into this mindset of taking things back over, man. Let's get back to following our God. Let's get back to being a family again. right? We were in the wilderness. We were a family. All the tribes they had their own camps, right? We were in an ancient mindset of war. We were fighting together. We need to be in that mindset today. In modern history, we need to be in that mindset, right?
That's right. That's right.
Man, let me go into this history of Gad, man. Now, this is a long one. It's gonna take a minute, so might end it off with this, but in a couple precepts. Let's take back our heritage, man. Beautiful point. Now let's get into this. This is our mighty brothers, man, with the fringes on. I know y'all can see that. Let's get into some history. This is going to talk about Christopher Columbus as well. So we're going to get some extra history on him. And yeah, let's get into it. It says, long before Christopher Columbus stepped foot on what would come to be known as the Americas, the expansive territory was inhabited by Native Americans. Right? Throughout the 16th and 17th centuries, as more explorers sought to colonize their land, Native Americans responded in various stages, from cooperation to indignation to revolt. And Christopher Columbus, he tricked them, man. He tricked our brothers, man. He came over and tried to be all nice and all these things, try to give them gifts and presents and all these things. And next thing you know, we're on a boat, right? Those boats weren't filled with just the so-called black man. I know a lot of people think that we were the only ones on the ships. No, man, we were. Gad was on those ships too, right? Ephraim, they were all on those ships, and they actually had that in the museum, right? Let me get a quick picture. See if this can pop up. Look at this, Israel. Right? This didn't just have black people on it,
Right.
so-called black people. Gad was all throughout this thing, man. Issachar was all throughout this thing, man. Christopher Columbus had to make trips, man. That's how much of our people were there. Right? Let's get back into this. It says, after siding with the French in numerous battles during the French and Indian War, and eventually being forcibly removed from their homes under Andrew Jackson's Indian Removal Act, Native American populations were diminished in size and territory by the 9th century, by the end of the 9th century. Right? They forced them out of their homes, man. Forced them off their land. This is what the white man does. Right? And these are the timelines, right? 1492, Christopher Columbus lands on a Caribbean island after 3 months of traveling. Believing at first that he had reached the East Indies, he described the natives he meets as Indians. On his first day, he ordered 6 natives to be seized as servants. Look, that was his first day there, man. There was no, hey, how you guys doing? You know, let me introduce myself. First day, he put us in damn handcuffs, man. Who does that sound like at modern history? Sound like the so-called white man to me. Right? They don't ask no questions no more, man. They pull you over. They're already looking in your car. They get the flashlight on in broad daylight. Right? Body cam is turned off.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling you, hey, man, step up the damn car. Well, what did I do, officer? Step out, man. You're resisting. Sounds like the so-called white man. Right? Quick precept. Jeremiah 27:10. For they prophesy a lie unto you. They remove you far from your land, and that I should draw you out, and ye should perish. And that's exactly what they did, man. Took us far away from our land, man. This was our land, and they took us from it. Forcibly. We didn't have a choice. Right? Let's read on. April 1513. Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon lands on continental North America in Florida and makes contact with Native Americans. Right, another Spanish. February 1521, the Ponce de Leon departs on another voyage to Florida from San Juan to start a colony. Months after landing, Ponce de Leon is attacked by local Native Americans and fatally wounded. I mean, they jumped him, man. Right? They wasn't going for that. Right? Hey, man, that shows you how mighty the tribe of Gad is, man.
That's right.
Right? This dude was getting ready to start a colony, man. He was gonna probably do the same thing Christopher Columbus did, and they took that down, man. Right? They weren't going for the same thing twice, man. This is May 1539. It says Spanish explorer and conquistador Hernando de Soto lands in Florida to conquer the region. He explores the South under the guidance of Native Americans who have been captured along the way. And that's what Christopher Columbus did as well. He used some of us to navigate to certain places. He'll even use some of us to learn languages, right? Because we know these brothers were speaking Hebrew, right? And Christopher Columbus didn't know that, man. He was asking some of us how to pronounce certain things, how to say these things. What is this text saying? Right? That's how he figured out about R. Smith in the first place. He had another Jew brother to read this, man. Right? Let's get this. October 1540, De Soto and the Spaniards plan to rendezvous with ships in Alabama when they're attacked by Native Americans. Hundreds of Native Americans are killed in the ensuing battle. Right? This is just straight history. Look at this, all the way to 1754. Look at this real quick. 1595, Pocahontas is born. Now, a lot of brothers talk about Pocahontas, how she helped this guy right here, John Smith, right? But to be completely honest, she didn't have a choice. In history, in our schools, that they're teaching our children, they make this seem like a damn love story, man. Right? In the movies, she was just a helper, right? She was just a good helper. We all have to unite, all these things. And they're just hiding the truth. They're trying to gentrify it, man. Pocahontas was held against her will, man. Right? She didn't have no choice. It just told you these are colonists. All they do is colonize. I'm gonna get a quick reset. I'm gonna get Job 7. I believe that's 38. I want. See if y'all can see this, Israel. Get this quick preset. Okay, let me see. Slacking. Okay. Get 9 and 24. That's what I wanted. Check this out, Israel. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who is it if it's not the so-called white man? When you look throughout history, shalom, sis. When you look throughout history, who can we always show that is the one that's persecuting the victim in these stories, man? You think about the so-called black man, it was the white man. You think about the the so-called Mexicans, it was the white man. You think about the Native Americans, it was the white man. I'm seeing the same villain in all these stories, man.
Denominated.
Right? God, I mean, I don't understand how we can look at this and then in modern history say we are all one. We forgot about all those things. We're gonna have the white man join into the kingdom with us. I don't understand it, man. How? You really think the Lord forgot this?
That's what they believe.
Well, newsflash, he didn't.
Mm.
Somebody got to pay for this, man. Look at this. Pocahontas' brother kidnaps Captain John Smith from the Jamestown colony. Smith later writes that after being threatened by the chief Powhatan, he was saved by Pocahontas. The scenario is debated by historians. So they don't even know, man. They don't even know. But yet they're telling our kids, yeah, man, Pocahontas helped. You know, it was a love story.
Mhm.
But they don't even know, man. Don't let these damn Edomites, these Spaniards, fool you. This ain't no love story, man. Why you think her brother kidnapped him? Right? They're just making up things as they go. And look at this. In 1613, Pocahontas is captured. I thought it was a love story. I thought they just needed her help. Why was she captured then, man? Captured by Captain Samuel Argall in the First Anglo-Powhatan War. I thought it was a love story. Why are they having a war? The white man always has to have a war with us, man. I don't understand it. Right? While captive, she learns to speak English, converts to Christianity. Oh my goodness. That's the first thing she did when she started speaking English, man. Khan, shalom. Shalom, sis. Look at this. Brother Frank said, you see him in these horror movies, they are the monster. Hey, that's a good point, man. Who plays the best monsters, man? The best evil characters,
There you go.
right? In Sinners, who was it? The vampires, the so-called white man, right? Freddy Krueger, white man. Jason, white man. Ghostface, white man. I mean, I can go on and on, man. Right? They're always the villain. And they play them roles hell of a good, man, because they know it. Right? I just don't understand how our people aren't seeing this.
I don't forget.
Oh, look, mighty precept right here, man. Let's get that. We got to get that.
Don't forget.
Mhm.
Sorry.
This is the book of Samuel. It's like 15 and verse 1. Let me get that. 1 Samuel 15, verse 1. Let's see this real quick, Israel.
1 to 3. Here it is. You can see that.
Let's
Show
read
you something about Esau.
Let's see this. It's the book of 1 Samuel, 15, verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel. And the Lord still remembers this, man. Right? Amalek is talking about your so-called white man. Your fake Jews, man. Right? And we know what they do. Oh, man, we do. I don't even want to go into some of the stuff, man. It's horrible. They just got outed a couple of weeks ago. They got exposed, man. And I don't know why this isn't on the news channels, right? But they got exposed for having a tunnel with 70 kids, man. 70 kids. Hey, that's probably taken off the damn internet by now, man. We know they run it, right? They got the most money in the world. They're taking these things off, man. But this happened. Amalek is, hey, the Lord said he's going to have war with Amalek forever, man. He got indignation with him. He hates Amalek, man. This ain't no love story. He don't love everybody on the planet. If he did, why'd he tell Saul to go kill them, man? This don't make sense, man. We know the Lord don't change. He hated them devils back then, and he hate them now. Right? Let me finish this off, and let me get back to it. It says, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both men and women, infant, suckling, ox, sheep, camel, ass. The Lord wanted them all gone, man. He said, I don't even want the animals to survive, man. How are we making this a love story to say, well, all these people can join into the kingdom? If the Lord didn't even want the animals to survive, what you think he thinks about the people? You know how much hatred you gotta have for somebody to not want their animals to survive? They didn't do no wrong. What did they do, man? And the Lord even shows you his power when he did that in Egypt, man. He smote their animals. He sent locusts on them, man. Turn the rivers into blood, destroyed their crops. How can we say that he loves these people and he's doing this to them, man? Right? I just don't understand it, man. But now let's finish this out. This is 1622. It says the Powhatan Confederacy nearly wipes out Jamestown Colony. So let me get this straight. The Jamestown Colony tried to colonize the Powhatan Confederacy and they lost. And then they nearly wiped out them. That's how mighty the tribe of Gad is, man. Your so-called Native Americans. They almost wiped them out, man. Right? And Gad, I hope y'all are watching. I hope y'all are listening. Y'all are still mighty like this, man. Y'all can still be like this. Don't forget your heritage. This is your real heritage, man. Taking out devils, scalping heads off, man. Having your fringes, your beard on your face, your hair grown out. That is your real heritage, following the Most High God. And same goes for you, Issachar. Right? Let me pull up a quick picture now. I saw this and this made me a little upset, man. Issachar has been carried away by this Christianity, man. Look at this, Israel. Look at this. Look. This is wickedness, man. This is what happened to Issachar now. Right? Who is this, man? We see all our brothers and sisters wearing these on their chains, on their necks. Look at this, man. Who is this man right here? This is what our Issachar brothers are worshiping to this day. Right? There is a store that I went to. It's an Issachar store, right? So-called Mexican store. They got all their stuff, all their foods, their drinks, their attire, and throughout all the store, they have this in there, man. They got the white man on the cross, and it's sickening. But the Lord told you this would happen.
Yes, he did.
Let's get that. Where are we gonna get that from? The curses. We gotta identify this, man. This lets you know that Issachar, Gad, these are our brothers, man. Because they went through the same thing we went through. Right? Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even to the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. What does this look like to you, Israel? He's on the wooden cross. They got this on their necks right now, man. Right? And you're seeing in this passage, it said that she learned to speak English and converted to Christianity. If that was something we were already a part of, why did she convert to it? This ain't her heritage, man. This ain't our heritage. Right? We got to come back to our God. That goes for the so-called Mexicans, your so-called Puerto Ricans, your so-called Cubans, your so-called Native Americans, your so-called blacks, man. We all got to come back to the Most High and follow Him, man. Come on, man. Let me see if there's anything else on here. It says 1680, a revolt of Pueblo Native Americans in New Mexico threatened Spanish rule over New Mexico. So, I mean, of course, man. The Spanish continuing to try to rule over our Mexican brothers. 1754 says the French and Indian War begins, pitting the two groups against English settlements in the north, man. Right? Look at this. I don't know if this will. I don't want to listen. We ain't gonna listen. We're gonna finish this out. Look at this, man. So-called white man. Look, trying to offer up a crown. Look, the brother looks displeased, man. Right? He's got his fringes on. They always try to conquer. They always try to be around us. Even in today, modern history, white man always in a black man's business, man. Whether you're throwing your parties, right? You're having your get-togethers. There's always that one old white dude or that old white lady across the street, man. She's bothered, man. Mm-hmm. She hates to see brothers and sisters get together, man. Right? You see if I can
show them all.
Oh, con.
All the Spaniards, all them photos that they did to the north.
Con. I don't think it's popping up. Con. Let me continue on this though. Okay. This is May 15, 1756, the 7 years war between the British and the French, with Native American alliances aiding the French. Right? And unfortunately, they brought some of our brothers and sisters in their wars, man. They forced them. Don't let these articles fool you, man. Don't look at these articles where it says, oh, we helped. It was an alliance. Right? There was no alliance. We didn't have a choice. Right? We never had a choice, man. Right? This is May 7th, 1763. It says Ottawa Chief Pontiac leads Native Americans to forces into battle against the British. Right? We fought against the British, man. This is a known fact. This is history. Just like the so-called black man did, man. Right? The Moorish. We were fighting these devils, man. Right? It says the British retaliate by attacking Pontiac's warriors in Detroit on July 31st, in what is known as the Battle of Bloody Run. Pontiac and company successfully fend them off, but there are several casualties on both sides, man. 1785, the Treaty of Hopewell is signed in Georgia, protecting Cherokee Native Americans and the United States in sectioning off their land. Right? And don't believe these treaties either. We just went into that on. Okay, that's a good point. True history that is not taught in these Babylonian schools, man. Hey, man, I never seen any of this in the schools. All I saw was them Pocahontas hugged up with John Smith. I saw Christopher Columbus. They did show us Christopher Columbus, but for some reason they made that like a love story too. They made it seem like, or no, I think it was the Thanksgiving with the Pilgrims. They made that seem like a love story. Yeah, the Pilgrims came over. You know, they just had a feast with the Native Americans. Man, it was no biggie, right? That's what our schools told us, man. Even though those Pilgrims slaughtered our brothers and sisters, man. And a lot of our people don't know the origin of Thanksgiving.
Right.
They don't know the origin of the turkey and the what is that stuff? The cranberry sauce. That represents blood, man. They don't know these things. Kind of, our mighty brother Chief, man. He put these pictures in the chat, so if y'all can copy it and look it up, these are gonna show you. It says it's gonna show you that the conquistadors did, right? So Click on it. If you're on computers, right click, copy it, paste it, and it's gonna show you, man, what these conquistadors done, right? But man, this isn't some love story, man. Don't let the matter of fact, if you can, drag your kids out of them damn schools, man. Right? Homeschool is looking like the way to go. Look at this. They even said this about Sacagawea in 1805, along with their baby and husband. I'm not even gonna attempt to say that name. Joined Lewis and Clark on their voyage. They tell us this all the time. Lewis and Clark, Sacagawea, right? They were just a big trio, man. She didn't have a damn choice either. Sacagawea, Lewis and Clark. Let me show you that, man. See some pictures on that. Right? Look at this. Look how they make this look, man.
Ooh. Look at that.
Yeah, like she was just helping. You see, the brother got a gun, man. He got one too. I thought we were just helping.
Yeah.
Why would you need this for? And if you can check their attire, it looks like they stole it, man. They got the fringes on their stuff. We know the white man don't have fringes. They don't keep the law. Right? This is ridiculous, man. Right? Let me go back. Finish this. This is a lot of history, man. A lot. This is what I really wanted right here. Because this section from 1838 to 1851 was actually in the museum. Right? It says, with only 2,000 Cherokees having left their land in Georgia to cross the Mississippi River, President Martin Van Buren enlisted General Winfield Scott and 7,000 troops to speed up the process by holding them at gunpoint and marching them 1,200 miles. Man, are we? And this is what they're hiding, right? Look, Brother Frank. He said, "That's right, sis. They always begin with slavery, but never what led up to it." Right? That's a beautiful point right there, Frank. Right? In case y'all haven't already, or if any of you are still in the church buildings, I want you to ask your pastor, why did slavery happen?
Good question. Good question. Very good question.
Ask your pastors that, man.
Very good.
Right? Because I've heard some pastors say some crazy things, man. I've heard some pastors say that we were, it just had to happen at that time, right? Some pastors say, well, it doesn't matter why it happened, man. We escaped it. Some pastors will just tell you, man, I don't know, right? But I want y'all to ask your pastors that if y'all have any. That's a great point. But, right? Ask your pastor. If you don't have one, go find one and go ask him, man. Right? And report back to me. I want to hear it, man. Yeah. Shoot at us in the email, man. I want to hear it. Right? Let's finish this out though. So it says they held him at gunpoint, made him march 1,200 miles. You know how long it would take to walk 1,200 miles? On feet. They didn't have no cars, man. No planes, right? They couldn't catch the damn Delta Express, man. They had to walk 1,200 miles, gunpoint. This is what your so-called white man did to us.
That's right.
And look at this. It said 7,000 of us went, and more than 5,000 Cherokees died on this journey. They couldn't. Who would live through this, man? Right? And this was actually in the museum, the 1838. I got a video of it, but once again, couldn't show it. But this is in your museum, man. Go find this. The Trail of Tears. That's what it's called. Right? Go to the museum and get this information. It will be taken down sooner or later. Right? 1851. Congress passes the Indian Appropriations Act, creating the Indian reservation system. Native Americans aren't allowed to leave their reservations without permission. Who does it sound like?
Gotta have permission.
You gotta have permission to leave, man.
Wow.
You gotta check in with us, man. That's what they told them. And it's happening to us too, man. The so-called black man, right? Had our colored only, right? Had our colored only buses, man. We there were colored only sections on the bus. That was at the museum as well, right? They did this to our Native American brothers as well,
That's right. That's right.
right? Yeah, look at this. I like to see this right here, man. This right here makes me happy. October 1860, a group of Apache Native Americans attack and kidnap a white American, man. And clap it up for the most side, man. Right? We love to see that, man.
Right.
This is the type of timing our brothers were on. Right? Kidnap the brother, man.
Mm-hmm.
It says, resulting in the U.S. military falsely accusing the Native American leader of the Apache tribe, Cochise. Cochise and the Apache increased raids on white Americans for a decade, man. Going to war with them for a decade. Right?
Mm.
Oh, look at this.
Frank Jackson.
Brother Frank says, none of them never knew, but two of them, and they still doesn't teach it when I was telling some of the members I got kicked out and called a devil and made threats to do harm to me and my wife. And man, that's sickening, man. That's what the so-called white man does.
Man.
They get mad when we know our history
Right.
and we bring it out, right? They say, how these niggas know this, man? I thought we took this down. How did Frank know that he is actually an Israelite, man?
Mm-hmm.
How did he know that the so-called white man's a devil?
That's right.
They get mad at that, man. And we got to come to this realization. Are brothers and sisters ready to come back to their heritage?
Mm.
Are they ready to fight for their people?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because we can't just, I know you say the Black Lives Matter and all these things, but our Northern Kingdom brothers' lives matter too, man. This is all, we're all one. We're all one family. Right? We got to go out there and not only fight for the so-called blacks, but we have to fight for the so-called natives and the so-called Hispanics, man. Right? Okay, let me see if I think I got one more precept I want to add before I kick this, before I leave this, man. I'm going to leave y'all off with some good precepts. Let me get back to that. Let me get Jeremiah 16 and 18 really quick. Get some more information. Let's get some ending precepts.
Mm-hmm.
Get Jeremiah. If you got one, throw it in too. Right?
Okay.
Let me get 16 verse 18. Jeremiah 16 and 18. It says, and first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land. They have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of the detestable and abominable things, man. Right? This is what the so-called white man has done. The Lord said it's a righteous thing to recompense unto the wicked, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They have polluted our lands with bloodshed. And the Lord already told you when that happens, hey, bloodshed has to be repaid, man. You can't shed blood in the land and not have a get back on that, man. Right? Mighty precept right here. Sirach 44 and 23, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing and gave him an heritage and divided his portions among the 12 tribes that he parted them. We have our heritage. This is our heritage, man. The oracles of God, right? The scriptures, that's our true heritage. We are not Hispanics no more. We're not Mexicans no more. We're not Native Indians no more. We're not savages no more. We're not blacks no more. We are Israelites, man. according to the scriptures.
This is a speckled bird for you.
Oh, God, let me get that. Jeremiah 12:9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field.
Come on.
Come to devour, man. We're a speckled bird across the world, man. The salt of the earth, man. Right? I know some of our brothers and sisters out there look a little lighter, right? Right? But we gotta test the spirit, man.
Come on.
Right? And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get another precept on that. I'm glad brother went to that, man.
Keep on. You got it.
Let me get to Jeremiah 31. Let me get to 35, right? It says, thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me from ever. Right? Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searcheth out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all they have done, saith the Lord. We are not cast off, man. You can't measure heaven, right? The sun and the moon, the stars, all these things are still here. We still here, man. Our heritage still stands, man. We are still Israelites. We got to come back together, man. Right?
Your God. Come back to your God.
Right. Come back to your God, man. Right. And if anybody got any closing precepts they want to throw in there, throw them in there, man. Throw them things in there. Come, I'm looking for one.
To the Most High. Let's throw this in.
Praises to the Most High, man.
That's right, for the truth. Let God be true and every man a lie.
God, I got one more.
I really think one, you know, I like that.
God. Brother got one. Sirach 17 and 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for a heritage. Man, that's a bomb drop right there, man. The law is our heritage, man. That's why when Christopher Columbus seen them, they had their fringes on. Because it's their heritage, man. They went to that land, Arsarith, and kept their heritage, man. That's a mighty precept. I got one. I'm gonna throw one last one in there, right? Send you guys off, right? Real quick. Let me go to the book of Sirach. I'm gonna get 36 and 11, man. Stay in this Sirach. Get this quick precept. This says, gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit thou them as from the beginning. And that's what we're hoping that happens, man. We're hoping that the Most High gathers us together again, man. This is a message to the Northern Kingdom, man. Come back to your brothers, man. Right? Don't follow these other gods that the so-called white man gave you. Don't follow the so-called white Jesus. All these other things is wood and stone, right? You have a God. It's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and no one else, man. Right? Last thing right there. I'm gonna go ahead, shut it down. Right? Right. It says the water for the involvement Israel. Please hit us up on the email. Yeah, it is on the screen for any questions, no matter what, man. And yeah, we love Israel, man. That's the whole reason we're doing this lesson, man. We love y'all, man. We had to show y'all history, right? It's not just a so-called black man in this thing together and that's it, right? We didn't forget about you, Northern Kingdom, right? Right? Brothers up here love Northern Kingdom, man. Right? Y'all have the best food, right? best music, the best inventions, the best workforce. You got it all, man. Right? Northern Kingdom probably building up something right now, man. They get things done. They know how to do it, man. Right? We need y'all to come home, man. Come back to your God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Right? And with that, I'm gonna leave it off, man. It's your brother, Officer Don. I hope y'all enjoyed the lesson. I hope it was edifying. Sooner or later, we're gonna go to some more museums, man. Some more places to get more information because we know time is ramping up. They're gonna shut these things down, man. They already told me I couldn't take pictures of certain things, man, because these sections are being taken down. Right? So we gotta go and find it, man. We gotta go take it, man. Take the information from them and show our people, man, like they've been doing to us. Right? So all praises to the Most High Power Yahweh in the name of Shema Mashiach Yahushai and your brother Yadon, man. Hope it was edifying. I hope y'all continue to come back to your God and do His law, such as the commandments, and keep the faith in Him and His precious Son, man. And with that, Shalom.